Hello again, whiskey friends. Welcome back to the Whiskey Riff Lounge. I'm so excited today. We're going to be doing a battle of Coy Hills. So that's right. The original release that I have was 143.7, and we're going to put that one up against the new batch release, which is quite a bit different as far as proof. It is at 124.5, which this new batch has been right around that 125 proof. I've only seen one that I think was 130. So exciting times. Stick around and we'll get this started and kicked off right away. All right, guys, welcome back. So I am excited about this. Coy Hill was one of my favorite releases when it first released back, I believe, in 21. This particular one was 143.7, so it was quite up there on the proof point. It was a lot of fun to explore, and it was like a rich stewed fruit from what I can remember. Now, I have not drank this in probably over a year, but I am babying the bottle. You can see there's quite a bit of air in this one, whereas I just got the newest batch, and so we're down past the shoulder, so I wanted to give it a new try here. And this is a limited bottle from the Coy Hill 8 Rickhouse. So let's get into the nose. We'll start with the new one first, and then we'll go to the original one. So I will say, if you do are able to get one of these, make sure you let it sit for at least 15 minutes. These things come out really tight out of the bottle. They need some air time to really get the full experience of that. So let's go in on the nose. So really is really nice on the nose. It's more brown sugars than fruit, than stewed fruit, like the other ones that I remember last year. So we'll go to that nose in just a minute. But just very rich and dense with those brown sugar notes and caramel notes. If I remember right, the Coy Hill sets up on a hill as well for the Rick House, and I believe these were towards the top of the Rick House. In that Rick House, they were at the top. So, hence the 143.7 on the original batches, upward to almost above hazmat. So yeah, just really, really nice nose, fragrant nose. Let's go into the other one, which is the older batch, which is the original release. Yeah, I can tell a big difference in the nose already. And it's not proof at all that I'm smelling. It's just a richness that's there on the older batch versus the newer batch. But it is a similar profile. But I get a little bit more thickness and richness just out of the nose of the older release than versus the new release. This one does have that fruit that I remember, but it's not as upfront and hits you in the face as it was when we first popped it. Obviously, it's got a lot of air in the bottle, so I would anticipate that would dissipate some. So let's go into the palate. We'll start with the new batch, Warehouse 8. Oh, wow. That is really good. It's been a while since I've drank this one, too. It's probably been a couple of weeks since I've had it. Lot of proof up front. Again, this is still my first whiskey of the day, so I think second sip, that's going to subside a little bit. Legs on this thing are it's pretty damn viscous. I mean, the legs are just slowly dripping down on that. It's very viscous. A lot of brown sugars up front as I got on the nose. Some pretty heavy vanilla too. But yeah, that baked or browned butter and brown sugar, like if you were to put that in a pan and like just get it real nice, hot and syrupy, that's what I get on the nose on this thing. It's crazy. Yeah, So it does subside a little bit. So up front, you get the sweetness of that brown butter, brown sugar. Mid palate, you get a little bit of spice. And then it starts in the center and works its way out on your palate, on your tongue with a spice. The viscosity on this is very high. It is very coating, as I would expect it to be. Has a little bit of oak notes towards the middle and back of the palate, but overall, it is coating my mouth so much. The finish is very long. It's still going. Like if I put my tongue to the roof of my mouth, I can get more of those oak notes that are coming out. That's something that somebody else was teaching me when I was drinking with them, to, at the finish of a whiskey, to put your tongue towards the top of the mouth and see if it changes what you're getting on the finish or if it's staying true. I don't know if it was Nancy or somebody else that knew way more than I did that mentioned that to me, but it does really accentuate what you're tasting more. So I don't have water with me, so we're going to go straight to the 143.7, which is the original release that I got back in 21, I believe. Yeah, it's already richer on the nose than it was just a few seconds ago whenever I smelled it the first time. It's not proof. It does not come off across with a lot of alcohol vapor to me. It's just rich. So cheers to you, whiskey friends. Let's get into this one. Oh, man. That has so much more oak presence in the mid palate. It's crazy. You can tell the DNA is there behind it. You get that rich viscosity. Now, this one is even more viscous than the newer batch. I mean, it is crazy how much this one is just coating the glass in my palate. But up front, you get the same sweet sugared note, and then immediately it goes mid palate and expands out with oak and sweet oak at that. A little bit of spice in the mid palate, and then the back part is just all like that sweet caramelized oak. It's so good. I'm not getting a lot of the fruit notes that I got on the nose originally when I first tasted it, but I am getting some richness there. There are a hint of fruit notes, but nothing like what it was when we first popped it. Now, when I first tasted this, I sent it to Jeffrey Wack, and he was like blown away, just like how much like rich, like stewed fruit, brown butter, sugar. Man, this is a flavor punch. Now, this one drinks all of 140, all hazmat on this one. Even on the second sip, it's lighting my tongue up with that proof point, but it's not overpowering the whiskey. It's still a very, very nice experience, but I am feeling it here right now on the second one. It's not even close as far as the profile. The profile on the old batch that I have, which is here, which is 143.7. This one was CAHP 02425. So I think that's the warehouse P, if I'm reading this right. I don't have my glasses, so I can't really see for sure. But man alive, that's such a banger of a freaking pick. It just goes on. There is, I noticed in JD notes lately, maybe it's just my palate picking it up, there is just a hint on both of these of just a slight peanut. And it's not off-putting, and I hate peanut, just so you know. But it does come across on the nose, not so much on the palate of both of these. But I mean it ever so slightly, which is interesting because I'd never picked that up on Jack profiles before. Now, this one is getting richer too as it sits. Let's go back to this one, the new batch. Oh, that's nice too, though. I will say you can tell the big proof difference in these between these two, but the profile is similar as far as what you're getting. It's just that the 143 is just a monster mouth punch of flavor. Whereas this one's really, really good and viscous and you get a lot of flavor, but it just doesn't punch you in the mouth as much as the other one does. So overall, the new batch is really, really good. I was super excited to get this. Thank you to my buddy Jonathan, who was able to get 2 and put it out there at cost for me to be able to grab it from him. So appreciate the hand delivery on this, Jonathan, and sharing, because that's what it's about. And so I'm going to be putting a sample of this out for our next live for somebody to win as well, so you guys can taste it along with us. It's all about sharing the good stuff and sharing the whiskey. So guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Look forward to hanging with you on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you check out the Facebook page as well as the Patreon to get in on some of these barrel picks that we're going to be doing that's coming up. Turkapalooza 2 Encore is coming out soon, so make sure you guys get involved in this. I'm telling you, this is a freaking hitter of an 8-year MGP Kelvin bottle. So thanks, guys, for hanging out. We'll see you right here next time.